Hi everyone, welcome to my makeup inventory video. So in this video, I will be documenting almost all of my makeup collection in terms of numbers. So I will be counting up every single item that I can get my hands on in terms of in the makeup category and be reporting it to you as my starting point in my panning journey. Although I've been project panning for many years, I've still struggled with excessive buying behavior and addictive shopping behavior. So I've accumulated quite a lot of makeup. Please don't judge the numbers. If I'm decluttering something, as always, the typical disclaimers apply. I'm either going to trash it because it's too old or expired, or I will, if it's still good and can be sanitized, I'll be giving it to family and friends. But there's not much decluttering going on. There's just a lot of counting and math. So let's get right into it. First category is primers. We have here Alima Pure. It's my favorite eye primer and it happens to be clean. I really love it. Every time I'm almost done, I get not a backup, I get a replacement right away. Valentino eye primer for glitter shadows. Love this too. And then a MAC paint pot. So I have 3 eye primers and that is the number it will always stay at, 3 or maybe even 4 if I want to try a new one. So it's not a problem category by any means. Next is face primers. This is too many. I don't need this many. This is 8. We've got 2 glowy primers, 1 moisturizing, and then just a bunch of miscellaneous. So I want to get this category down to probably 3 primers. That's probably a happy number, but we don't know yet, but it's definitely not 8. So that's my primer category. Next category is correctors and concealers. I have 3 correctors, probably would only want 2 in the future, light and dark, or light and medium from Becca and a Bobbi Brown one. And then I have 7 concealers of various sizes, trying to work my way through them. I don't like Tarte Shape Tape. I've already decluttered 2. This is another one that I have remaining in my collection. I might declutter this before the next inventory, but for now I have 7 concealers. Next category is foundations or skin tints. I've actually managed to pan all of the skin tints from my collection this year, so I don't have any skin tints left. I will be bringing them back, but I want to finish up some of these first. I'm counting these 3 deluxe size House Labs sample foundation as just one because it's a darker foundation. I use it as a mixer and I got these from various promotions for free, but together they add up to the amount of 1 foundation. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 foundations. That's not bad at all. I did start out the year with a lot more. 7, I do want eventually probably 6 foundations plus skin tints, 1 or 2 skin tints, but they will be very different looking. Like for example, these 2, I will likely use up this one and then, you know, I definitely won't have 2 taking up the space of 1 product. This is a backup. And then this is discontinued, so I can't replace that anymore. Once I use this up, I won't repurchase. So it's going to be a lot of shifting around, but I still think I want this category to be 6 to 7 in the long run, just of entirely different foundations that I actually love and maybe 1 or 2 that I'm testing out. But I'm comfortable with this number. I want to stay at this number, but I want to pan all of these products out over the course of the next 2 years. Next is loose powders in my collection. I only have 4, but there's a lot of product in this one, so I haven't used that very much. The La Mer one, it's the old version and it's supposed to be really good, but I haven't had a chance to use it too much yet. I'm trying to pan this little deluxe sample of loose powder in my project pan and it's going well, but going slow. So I don't see this number changing very much, and in the future I'm thinking I probably want 2 instead of 4, but I'm not sure. I don't think 4 is excessive, so I'm okay with this category. Next up is the pressed powder category. Single pressed powders, I'm counting these 2 just as 1 each as well. Even though it's small, it's not going to be easy to use them up either because I just don't use a lot of powders. So I count this as 10 separate packaged pressed powders, and then on top of that I have face powders in here that are in little separate pans in these face palettes. So there's 5 in total here, and there's 10 here. So that means I have 15 pressed powders in my collection. That's obviously too much. I don't need that much whatsoever. I think about 5, these 5 will do more than enough for me. Maybe 1 extra sort of on their own. My ideal number is much less than 15, and I'm working my way through them very slowly. I forgot to say I have 1 powder foundation, so I'll add that just to the pressed powder foundations just to keep it simple, or the other pressed powders, I mean. So this is the only one with pigment, so this is my 1 powder foundation, but everything else is just setting powders and finishing powders, but I'm going to add the number of this 1 to the entire collection. Okay, this category barely fits in the frame in one shot, but it's all of my single package bronzers. So that's 13 in total. I'm counting the little ones as 1 each because even though they look small, they can be very stubborn to pan. I know from experience, so I'm counting them as 1 each. And then I have various bronzers in these other face palettes that I'm also counting. So there's extra 6 bronzers in face palettes, 6 pans of them that are counted in this category. So that's 13 plus 6, 19 bronzers that I have, and obviously that's too much, and my ideal number is something like maybe 6, including ones that go in face palettes because those I can't control, but single package ones, maybe just 2 or 3 floating around. That's enough for me. I'm not even a bronzer person, but I don't know how I accumulated all this, but I'm going to try to pan them all and not repurchase for quite a while. I forgot one more bronzer slash contour, this one from Charlotte Tilbury, so I'm going to add that to the total. Okay, so the next category is highlighters. This is my very expansive highlighter collection. I didn't even think I was that into highlighters, and now looking at this, it's a lot. And not pictures, so these are single, like in a single packaging when they're by themselves in a compact. Off camera, where I haven't even brought it to introduction yet, I have so many face palettes and they have individual pans of highlighter in them. So not counting all of these, there are 24 highlighters just in my face palettes alone. 24 separate small pans in those face palettes that are a highlighter product. So 24 plus what's here. So there's 17 highlighters here, and then 24 highlighters in different face palettes. 17 plus 24 is 41 highlighters. Oh my gosh, you guys. 41. I don't even know what to say. I had no idea. This is one of the reasons why I was putting off counting on my makeup, because of these horrifying numbers. 41 highlighters. So bear with me as I hopefully declutter and pan some this year, but it'll be a long journey, so come along for the ride. Okay, so this is just my cream blushes alone. It's also a lot. I just panned or hit pan on this one, so I want them eventually to all look like this, or maybe out of the collection. Through doing this exercise, I found 2 Chanel blushes that I didn't even know I had never used before. They were tucked away in a corner, and I feel so bad that I don't even know that I had these 2 very expensive blushes. So I'm pulling these out and putting them in my newest project pan called I Buy It, I Pan It, so check that one out. But anyway, so this is all the cream blushes that I own. This category will go bad the fastest, expire the fastest, so I want to focus on this a little bit in the coming year and try to pan some more cream blushes. So this is a total of 15 blushes, and there's 1 other cream blush in a face palette off camera, so that makes a total of 16 cream blushes in my collection. This is part 1 of the blushes that I have in my collection. So this is 13 blushes here in this shot. I love all of these. I'm a blush fanatic, so let's wait for part 2. Part 2 of my single blush collection. So that was 13 previously and now this is 11. So 11 plus 13, that's 24 single package blushes in my collection. You might say, Teresa, that's not so bad given your other numbers. 24 single package blush, but I also have a ton that hasn't even come up on camera yet that are part of blush duos or palettes and things like that. So let me count those up and come back with a total. So I counted 19 blushes in face palettes that are not on camera right now. So 19 pans of blush, like in little pans, separate pans in face palettes. So I have 41 separate pans of blush in my collection. 41, you guys. That's a lot. That's definitely a lot. I'm going to try to declutter and use some up this year, so follow along to see what I can do in the next 6 months to this inventory number. Okay, so this is all of the face palettes I have in my collection. These are duos. These Becca and Makeup Forever ones. They have 2 pans in them. This one has 3 pans in them from Lancome. I couldn't fit this Too Faced Sugar Peach palette in the frame, but a total of 14 face palettes. They have various combos of blush, highlighter, and even some eyeshadows, but they're just combo face palettes. Once again, too much. I'm going to try to declutter and use up and come back and see how I do by the end of the year. Okay, so for eyeshadows, 42 is the number of all of these singly packaged eyeshadows. So this is aside from my other single pans of eyeshadows in palettes that I will show you. But so there's 42 pre-packaged single eyeshadows. It's actually a nice variety. I like this collection, but it's obviously too big. So I still want to dwindle this down, but I do enjoy all of the colors here. I even found a shadow that I have not even touched one time before. So that will go once again in my I Buy It, I Pan It video series that I made recently. So here are my duos and trios. This is a quad, but obviously there's 2 shades left, so I'm counting this as a duo. And there's so few in this category that I could open up some for you guys to see. Yeah, so this category is obviously very small. I'm happy with the number. I don't expect to add any duos or trios to my collection, but you never know. So there's 5 individually packed duos and trios, and that's just fine with me. This is part 1 of the medium-sized palettes, so that's anything a quad or above. So 4 shadows like this, up to and including 8 shadows like this one, like the Soft Glam. So anything from 4 to 8 is in this category. This is only part 1. This is all the quads that I've used this year from my No Pan Left Behind challenge. And then I'll show you part 2 of all the palettes I still have yet to use in the medium-sized category for this year. So this is part 2 of all the medium-sized palettes. Sorry for the glare, it's from my lights at my vanity. So this is the rest of the medium-sized palettes that I have not used this year, and this is 10 palettes, so plus 8 from before, so I have 18 medium-sized palettes, and obviously that's too much, or at least obvious to me, but I do like all of them, so I'll have to see what I can do in terms of decluttering or using up, but so far I do enjoy this category, and I have a lot of gems, I think, in this category. Okay, so these are all of my single pans of eyeshadow from various palettes, depotted, or they came as single shadows. It's just a random assortment of shades, but these are from Jacqueline Morphe, the original palette. Some of them are Pure Cosmetics eyeshadows, Pure's Nabla, and some Natasha Denona shades. Some of these mattes are from MAC, and then some of these shimmers are from ABH singles. These ones are from NARS, so just a variety. And I forgot that I have one more pan of blush or one more pan of bronzer that I have to add to my total from the previous category. Yes, so this is all my single eyeshadows. I think the only 2 down on the right side that's not in frame, but that'll have to do. This is the current arrangement that I have to have it in, and I don't want to mess with it. So these are all my single shadows to date in my collection. There's exactly 60 separate pans of single eyeshadow I have. I don't think that's an excessive number, but I will probably whittle this collection down anyway over time, just because some of these shades will expire or they're too similar. So stay tuned on this, the status of this collection. So this is part one of many for my large palettes collection. All these are singled out because these are either in my travel makeup bag or in my pan that palette challenge, or in my no pan left behind where I've already used these palettes before. So these are all palettes that you should have seen me use over the course of this several different types of projects I've done on my channel, and I'm familiar with these large palettes and I really love them. Part two of my large collection. These three palettes are in, this one's in heavy rotation, and these two I've used in my pan that palette, or in my no pan left behind, and all of these are still new to me. I haven't even used them this year. Part three, some more large palettes in my collection that I haven't used this year. I love my Naked collection from Urban Decay, some Natasha Denona palettes that I love, and a Lawless eyeshadow palette that's from a clean brand. I also really enjoy that one. More Motherships and Natasha Denona palettes. I tried to pan the Star palette last year, so you can, if you're interested, go check out how far I got. But this is another section of my large palette collection, and we're almost at the end. These two are my only combo palettes. So what that means is that it's a combination of eyeshadows and face products. And I forgot to count the pans in here in my overall blush collection, so I'll have to update those numbers as well. So in conclusion, I have 27 large palettes, and I'm obviously thinking that that's too many, but it's less than I thought I did have. Maybe I'm a little bit surprised, slightly pleasantly surprised by the number 27, although it's still obviously very high. So I do want to whittle that number down as well over the years, so we'll see how I get to, but I do love most things in my collection. It's just a struggle to rotate through everything, as we all know. So current number is 27 large palettes. Here is my lip balm and lip gloss collection inventory. So I thought I had more lip balms than this, but I can't find more. I feel like they might pop up in a purse or two, but for now I have 7, and this one and this one are a bit older, so after this filming this, I'm gonna check to see if they're still good. I did use just one of them the other day, so, but it's starting to turn, I feel like, so I might declutter too. But for now I have 7 in this category, and obviously, well, maybe not obviously if you're a lip balm lover, but that's too much for me. So I think I only need maybe 3 or 4 lip balms. So let me, actually, as I'm talking, I know there's one in my bathroom that I forgot about. So there's another one. So so that is 8 lip balms that I have for this year so far. And then the lip gloss, these are lip glosses that I've already tried in my lipstick roulette project. And all of these still are to be tried. So they're mixed up in my lip product drawer to be picked out for later to try. So I will try these all a bit later. And there are 26 glosses. That's actually better than I expected. I didn't think I would have this few, if you will, just because I was a lipstick addict of all kinds, including glosses. But 26 is not bad. I definitely want less, but it's a workable number. At least it's not so overwhelming. So this is this part of the collection here for lips. Okay, part 1 of the lipstick category. I have so many, you guys. I apologize, I can't line them up nicely. I just don't have the time or the energy. There is just way too much lip products. This is only part 1. I'm thinking I'll probably need about 3 or 4 parts to capture all of it, but here's just a pictorial view of what It looks like the first part one. These are all the lipsticks I've tried so far in my lipstick roulette project. So it's called Project Apocalypse if you want to check out that video. And where I've tried all of these roulette style and gave them a rating, and they're currently staying in my collection because I've liked them enough to stay in my collection. Here's part 2 of the lipsticks in my inventory. Still just all a big mess of different types of lipsticks and different brands. I'm sure some look familiar to you, some maybe not. But yeah, I clearly do not discriminate, and I have most brands under the sun here. Last part of the collection, this is part 3 of all of my lipsticks. Liquid, you know, stick, even balmy types, or even lip oils. Well, actually lip oils was in lip gloss section, but this is basically any product I would use as a lipstick to add color to my lips, making for a total of 98 lipsticks. That's obviously too many. If any of you are in doubt, I think that's too many, 98 lipsticks. Although once again, it's a little bit less than I thought I had. I thought maybe I had something crazy like 200 lipsticks. So at least it's not 200, but yeah, there's basically 100 lipsticks that I have. So I'm going to make a concerted effort this year to declutter and use up quite a few. So definitely stay with me and watch my journey with that. But I also do love a lot of these, and I don't want to declutter for declutter's sake. I will definitely, most definitely slow down on the purchasing of lipsticks, if not stop completely. Ooh, you guys, so that was a really, really long session. It is now many hours after I first introduced the series and counted all the makeup, and I'm going to just do a very quick summary of all of the numbers and my thoughts. So in all of that, counting up every single piece of makeup, I will say in the miscellaneous category, I didn't count it. So things like lip liner, setting spray, eyeliner, mascara, just because those products, first of all, I don't find fun watching when someone inventories them, and I don't think I have a problem in those categories, except for lip liners. I do have too many lip liners, but I just, honestly, I just lost the energy to be able to count the lip liners. It's been a lot, trying to keep everything straight and all the numbers and math. So I will probably count that next year, but for now, I'm not counting those. So not counting those miscellaneous items, counting up everything else that I showed in the footage, I have 922 pieces of makeup in total. 922. Yeah, I thought maybe I would have over 1,000. Not that I was hoping I would, but because of my excess, I thought I would have more than that. But 922 is a manageable number in terms of being determined now to declutter and use up a lot of it. So I'm actually happy. It's not such an overwhelming number like 2,000 where I just don't know where to start. And I'm just going to slowly but surely start chipping away at each category such that this number in total in the future will be less. I don't know about how much less, but I will be updating you guys on my numbers either in Q3 or definitely by year end. This is just an exhaustive effort in terms of trying to film. So it's just a lot. So if there hasn't been too much changes, I may wait till the year end, but I will definitely by the year end update my numbers, and I really hope to show you and myself some progress in the right direction. Thank you so much for being with me. If you just discovered my channel, please like and subscribe and comment. It would mean so much to me, and it'll help me reach more audiences that are interested in consciously consuming and using up makeup. Thanks again. I will see you next time. Bye.